All right, let's talk about something so many of us have thought about, right? Quitting sugar. It's a topic with a ton of noise around it. So today, we're just going to cut right through all that and look at the real deal, both the sweet and the sour sides of the story. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? It's that 3 o'clock feeling. Your energy just tanks and your brain is basically screaming for something sweet just to push you through the day. It feels less like a choice and more like, well, a demand your body is making. And really, can you blame us? From our breakfast cereal to our pasta sauce, even in stuff like salad dressings and snacks that are marketed as healthy, added sugar is literally hiding everywhere. It's just a default ingredient in our world now, which makes this a conversation for pretty much everybody. Okay, so before we go any further, let's get one thing super clear. When we say cutting sugar here, we're not talking about ditching the apple you have in the afternoon. We are laser focused on the added sugars. You know, the syrups and refined stuff that gets mixed into all those processed foods. That's a really important distinction. So let's start with the good stuff. Why on earth would anyone put themselves through this? Well, the potential rewards, the really sweet side of this whole deal, can be a huge motivator. I mean, the people who successfully cut way back on added sugar, they often talk about this whole wave of positive changes. We're talking more steady, sustained energy all day long because you're finally off that blood sugar roller coaster. Many people find their mood just levels out. And yeah, there can be real benefits for managing weight, and some even see their skin clear up. And beyond all the physical stuff, there's this really powerful cognitive benefit. Brain fog. It's one of those things you might not even realize you have until it's suddenly gone. It's that feeling of just being a little bit fuzzy or slow. A high-sugar diet can contribute to that. And when it lifts, you're left with this amazing sharpness and clarity. And oh, this one is huge. We've all been there, right? That post-lunch crash, where all you want is a nap under your desk. That's often a direct result of your body working overtime to handle a sugar rush. When you step off that ride, you can actually reclaim your afternoon and feel consistently focused. But of course, if it was all sunshine and rainbows, everyone would do it. So now we've got to turn the page and look at the sour side of the story. The real, honest-to-goodness challenges that you're going to face when you decide to do this. Yeah, that initial period can be pretty tough. Your body is adjusting and it might fight back with things like headaches and, let's be honest, some serious crankiness. The cravings can feel totally overwhelming as your brain's reward center is begging for its usual fix. And then there's the one we don't talk about enough, the social stuff, which can be surprisingly tricky. But here's the thing, it's not completely random. This whole process tends to follow a pretty predictable pattern, and just knowing what's coming can make a huge difference. Those first few days are usually the most intense physically. After that, the battle moves more into your head. But the really good news is, it gets easier. You stick with it, and by about a month in, you're living in a totally new normal. And this just nails one of the biggest disconnects, right? The expectation versus the reality. We think we're going to cut out sugar and instantly feel like a superhero. The reality, for a lot of people, is something people call the sugar flu. You just feel tired, achy, and kind of blah for a few days. Getting your head around that before you start is so important. And seriously, think about it for a second. The birthday cake at the office, the dessert menu when you're out with your friends, a family dinner where saying no to grandma's pie feels like you're breaking your heart. Figuring out how to handle these moments without feeling left out or making everyone else feel weird is a real skill, and it is honestly one of the biggest hurdles. Okay, so we have the amazing benefits on one side and the pretty gnarly challenges on the other. How do we put this all together into something that actually makes sense? This slide just lays it all out, side by side. It's the perfect summary. For every single sweet reward, there's a sour challenge you've got to push through to get there. That sustained energy only comes after you get past the initial fatigue. That mental clarity shows up right after the irritability and cravings fade. It is a classic case of short-term pain for some serious long-term gain. So look, the big takeaway here isn't that sugar is evil or that everyone needs to quit forever. That's not it at all. It's about understanding the trade-offs. It's about being aware of what added sugar does to you personally, and then making a smart, informed choice about what role you actually want it to have in your life. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple, very personal question. Now that you know the potential upside and the very real challenges, are you the kind of person for whom the prize is truly worth the price? Only you can answer that.